Good evening, everyone. My name is Edson Martinez. I am the son of Juana Martinez, one of the moderators here. I just want to say I love you, Mom. I'm very proud of you. I have lived in Redwood City my entire life and have seen firsthand the changes and growth that have come to my one small town. I've completed my schooling in Redwood City, including my time in Summit High School. I can't see myself anywhere else. I love it here. I'm currently working full-time and dream soon of going back to college in this area to complete my degree in social work. Recently, my mom has struggled with constant increases in rent, as so many low-income people in the community do. This is something I also struggle with and had to recently move back in with my parents. My 9-year-old brother currently attends KIP Excelencia, a school that my mom and many local parents have worked hard to bring to Redwood City. But I'm afraid with the rent increases continuing, my family might have to move, and my brother will miss the opportunity to continue his education at such an amazing school. Now, I don't earn enough money on my own to live here, and I've always had longtime friends to share the cost of rent with, but now I see more and more friends having to move out of our city. I have friends coming back as college graduates and finding out they can't afford to live here, and are either forced to live at home with their parents or move away from their hometown. My dream of going back to school and finishing my college degree here is becoming less realistic. I don't believe change is bad, and I know a lot of good has come from it, but in the chaos of this rapid growth, I feel like we're leaving behind the community that grew up here, that works here, and that cares for the city. So my question to the city council candidate is, if elected, what would you do on the issue of housing in Redwood City, a place where low-income families can live and thrive?
Okay, this is one of the toughest issues that we've had to wrestle with over the years. So this is not just a Redwood City problem, this is a regional problem. The cost of housing is going up all over the Bay Area. One of the things that we've tried to do is we've tried to build more housing, period, and we also tried to build more low and moderate income housing. In the last 3 years, we've allowed more than 1,600 units of housing to be built in Redwood City, which is a lot. And but we've realized we can't build our way out of this problem. We used to have something called redevelopment, which was a way to supplement affordable housing in the community. We're hopeful that the state will bring that back. But in the meantime, some of the things we can do, we now are allowed to do inclusionary zoning, where we can say a certain part of the city will have to include a certain affordable component to it. But I'm seeking other solutions, too, to help renters stay in place. I'm working with the San Mateo County Association of Realtors, the Tri-County Apartment Association, Community Legal Services of East Palo Alto, to get everybody together and brainstorm some solutions that will work to help keep renters in place. One of the innovative programs that we're doing here in Redwood City is we've started a Fire Safety First program. So that will offer low-interest loans to apartment building owners to install sprinkler systems that not only protect their investment, but they'll do that in exchange for rent stabilization for a period of 5 years. I'm also working with the organizations that we talked about to see if we can arrange something where the city and Mid-Peninsula Housing have the first right of refusal to buy apartment buildings and make sure that we can keep those at an affordable level.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you. So, thank you so much. Janet?
So not too long ago, we were asked a question as candidates, what keeps you up at night? This is what keeps me up at night. The fact that we are quickly losing the workforce of our community because you can't afford to live here and you can't afford to commute back for a minimum wage job. So we have this dual problem going on. So I really want to bring all the stakeholders to the table. We missed an opportunity by not requiring 20% affordability in all of the departments that we have built in our community recently. So I want to make sure that we work to get that back. I want to make a policy where we can say, you have to do it. There are some that are going to tell you, you can't legally do it. Well, I say, hogwash, it's our community, we can do what we need to do and what we want to do. But we need all of you to step up and say, we can do this, and we demand that we do this. Because without the community actually saying, we want to be part of the solution. We know the problem. We see it and hear it every day. We've got to come up with solutions. And as I said earlier, we keep talking, and we're getting nothing done. We cannot legislate greed, plain and simple. And a lot of that is going on. Property owners know what they can get for their property, and therefore they are.
Thank you, Janet. Shelley?
Thank you. Well, the good news is that every single forum we've been to, people have asked this question. So people are thinking about it and talking about it, and that's the first part, right? But that doesn't actually solve the problem. So there's a couple of things I think the city can do. One of the things you heard about supporting property owners so that they can make improvements to their home and keep their rent stable is one thing, and the city can help with that. Another thing I think the city can do is look at the land the city owns and work with developers to build affordable housing on those sites. I think there's a couple of different categories that we can look at. One is we can think about all of the people here who work and make this city run, and the people who work and make our schools run can be prioritized in some places for housing that is affordable. But we also need to make sure that everybody can have access to it, so we need to continue to look at all of the different places where that's possible for the city to make that happen. The third thing is establishing areas where you do have to include housing that's affordable when you're building new housing.
Thank you, Shelley. Tanya?
So I live at Docktown. Unfortunately, the city council or the city staff at this moment don't feel that Docktown should necessarily be around. Just yesterday, Aaron Ackman, the interim city manager, posted online a report that put our community, the community that I live in directly, and said that it might be an alternate, that it may not be allowed to exist. I'm fighting for my community. I will fight for the whole bigger Redwood City community. Lo que acabo de decir es que yo vivo en Docktown. Es una comunidad flotante y el concilio de la ciudad ha publicado ayer mismo la situación que no nos van a poner de por seguro, sino solamente como opción para permanecer en esta ciudad. Así que al igual que yo peleo por mi comunidad, yo voy a pelear por el bien de toda la comunidad para que todos nosotros podamos quedarnos.
Thank you, Tanya.